Hey friends, welcome back to the Happy Homestead. I'm Amanda, and today's video is in collaboration with Fermented February. This is a series of videos, one new video for every day in February, and you can check down in the show notes below to click and see every other homestead's video on what they're doing on the different days of February, and it's all about fermentation. So everyone's doing something different, from sourdough to mustard, jalapenos, and today I'm doing carrots, fermented carrots. This is one of my favorite snacks, not only for myself, but for my children, because it's easy, it's healthy, and it's different. It's kind of like a pickle. We're gonna do a dilled fermented carrot, but it's a carrot instead of a pickle. So what I really like about this too is that I can do this at any point in time of the year. I don't have to have fresh cucumbers right from the garden, right? Carrots are pretty ubiquitous all year round. They don't have to be grown in your garden to get really good quality, even organic carrots. And so I think this is also a very economical way to dive into fermentation. So along with you just getting to watch and learn about all different types of fermentation with different products, Anna over at the Fermented Homestead, on every Monday night, she is going to be doing a live giveaway. And any person who comments on these videos, right, mine as well as others in the collaboration, gets entered to win. And the prizes are all donated through Haas Tools. Haas Tools is a sponsor of this fermentation collaboration, and so thank you to Haas. Head over to their website to get all of your fermentation needs. And now, onto some carrots. This could not be any easier. I'm gonna be doing 2 pints worth. Now, all I did was take some really big carrots, make sure they're clean. You don't need to peel them, just clean them up, and then I cut them so that they just kind of fit in my jar, really under that first lip. I got one left, let's do it. So you don't have to make things perfect. They don't have to be exact. But I usually cut my carrots in about quarters, and that was a thick carrot. So I'm just gonna stuff everything in here. And when things are fermenting, they soften up a bit. So you really do wanna make sure that you're stuffing your jar as best as you can. So all I did, like I said, was just cut my carrots to the desired length, and then cut them into either thirds or quarters, depending on how thick the carrot was, and stuff them in the jar. That is all I've done thus far. Now, you want to use filtered, non-chlorinated water to begin the fermentation process. You do not want to use tap water, so make sure you're using some sort of filtered, non-chlorinated water. I have 3 cups here. This very well may be more than I need, but I wanted to make sure I had plenty. So within the 3 cups, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of Redmond real salt. And you're gonna wanna mix that around because it's best to have as much as possible that salt dissolved. So I'm gonna let that sit for just a couple of minutes while we proceed. Now, this is where the fun part comes in for flavoring your fermented carrots. I prefer, like I said, kind of like a garlic dill. So I am gonna add 1 smashed garlic clove into each pint, because in my world, nothing is better than garlic. And I'm just gonna take out, you could easily put your garlic in first and then go ahead and put your carrots in. I just kind of take some carrots out and then put my garlic at the bottom. It's best to try to have the things that you're putting in kind of towards the bottom, because they will eventually start floating up to the top. Now, of course, I'm doing this backwards than I normally would have done it, but we'll still make it work. I also have a bay leaf. I have a fresh bay leaf from our backyard. So I'm gonna throw a bay leaf in. Now again, this is all just totally optional. You don't have to do garlic. You can just do the bay leaf. And the dill seeds, you can just do the dill seeds. You could do garlic and dill if you don't have bay, right? It's totally up to you. I like to add in a 1/2 teaspoon of dill seeds to each pint. Kind of shake that around to get those more towards the bottom. But that's it. That's all you have to do. And then we're going to fill with our salt water. You want to make sure you are covering all of the carrots. That's why it's really important to try to get them cut to just below that first lip of your jar. So now as these ferment on the counter, the carrots are going to soften up a bit. And so in a day or two, maybe 3 days, if needed, you can put a glass weight on top. Because the carrots are still pretty firm today on day 1, I'm just going to leave it at that. Again, make sure your liquid is covering all of the solids. These are fermentation lids, and you can get these at Haas Tools. You do not need to use these though. You absolutely can just use a piece of fabric and then the outer ring. I really prefer the airlock lids because it just helps make the fermentation process a little bit easier, a little bit more foolproof. So all I'm gonna do is leave these on the counter. I'll probably let them ferment. I usually go a minimum about 7 days, depending upon just the temperature in the kitchen and how things are going with the fermentation process. It could go up to 10 days. But if you're just starting out, I would check it around 5 days and then go up from there, how much of a fermented taste you prefer. But over time, you'll start to see bubbles come up the side here. And that's good. That basically means the fermentation process is happening. You may even start to see it bubble up here through the airlock. And then I would say in a couple of days, I'll take this off and check and just make sure that the carrots are still below the liquid line. If they've gotten softer and I have the ability to, I will put a glass weight on top of the carrots. And again, purpose is to just keep everything below that salt water. And that's how you help minimize and reduce any other type of mold or bacteria or anything else getting into your fermentation product. No matter what you're doing, the glass weight really does make a difference. But these are just gonna go sit on the counter and I'll check them in about 7 or 8 days and go from there. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope you'll consider making your own dilly fermented carrots. They are a delicious snack. And don't forget to click on the links below and check out the other homesteads within the Fermented February collaboration. And be sure to check out our sponsor, Haas Tools. Thank you so much. Take care. Stay healthy. Stay well. Bye-bye.